In this video, we're going to create a simple project tree that allows you to keep your projects organized in a simple way. Within that tree, we're going to create a simple website project, and then we'll deploy that project to Firebase. This video is specifically for my students, and if you don't feel as though it applies to you, please feel free to skip it and move on to the next one. I've decided to remove the files that we were working on previously and start from scratch within the public folder. So one thing I want to bring up is to remember that everything we create that we want to be deployed to Firebase must be contained within the public folder. Anything you create on your local machine, if done properly, will display on the web in the same way as you see it with your live server extension. So within the public folder, I'm going to create a new file, and we'll call it an index file, index.html. And I'm not going to apply any styles to these because we simply I need to illustrate how the tree gets created without confusing it with additional styling. If you want to apply any additional styling to this, please feel free to. So I'm going to initialize the HTML document, and we're going to call this, let's call it my project tree. And then in the body, I'm going to create a header at the H1 level, and let's call it my project tree and tab. And then I'm going to start looking at this in live server. Okay, now I have my project tree here. So within this project tree, I want to create a list, basically, a list of projects. So I'm going to create a list of 5 projects. And actually, let's back that up. Let's do a list of 2 project areas. Okay, we'll do mini projects. Okay, these might be week-to-week assignments, and then within here we'll do final project. Okay, and then as you can see, that list will generate in here. Now they're not currently linked, so what we need to do is make sure that we link them. So if you highlight a one of these lines of text, highlight, copy it, okay, a tab will generate your link. And then within the link area, let's call it mini projects, and then we'll paste the text in here. And then for final project, we'll do the same thing. Final project. And then in here, we'll paste the text in there. Now when we come over here, that's going to turn these into links. Now, right now, they don't go anywhere because the page doesn't yet exist. So over here, we're going to create folders within the public folder, one called mini projects. And you need to spell it the same way. Best practice is to use all lowercase for your projects. And I am going to realize that I could zoom in here a bit. Oops, too far. Get it to there, and then we'll spread this out a little bit here. Okay, so I've created a folder in here called mini projects. Now within that folder, I'm going to create another file called index.html. On this mini projects index.html, we'll initialize the document, and and we'll call this mini projects. And then down in the body, header, H1, mini projects. Then in here, we'll create a list, another list, ULLI, and let's say you'll have 3 mini projects. Okay, we'll call it, and we'll go ahead and set the links up now. Oops. Okay, and then whatever you want to name this mini project, whatever assignment that is that you're working on, we'll say project 1. Okay, here we'll call it project 1. And in here, project 2. Or better yet, instead of it being a project, let's call it week. Okay, week 2. Then down here, week 3, week 3. Now over here, if you click on in your live server, if you click on mini projects, it's going to take us to another page which contains our new mini projects. And then within that, okay, within mini projects, we can create a new folder. We can call it week 1. Click on mini projects again, create another new folder. Week 2. And create another folder. Week 3. And then within each one of these, we can create a new file. Index.html, new file, index.html. Then within here, new file, index.html. On each one of these, we can create a micro project in here. A week 1 project, and let's just copy all of that and go into the other files here and just change out. We are in week 3 for this one. Then we'll go into the week 2 index file. We'll paste that in there as well. Week 2, week 2. And now when we come over here, if we were to start from the beginning, I have my mini projects, and now I can go in and I can see week 2's project, week 1's project, week 3, and I can always back out and return to the base of that tree if I needed to. Okay, so now let's close up the mini projects folder, and within the public folder again, and if it's easier for you, you can close all of these other ones out. Keep the main index file open, and then we can close down mini projects, or what I call folding it up. And within the public folder, create another folder called final project. Okay, and that's exactly how it's labeled right here. Okay, within the final project, you create your index. Final project. And over here, I can go in and I can view that final project. Now we will open our terminal And because everything is contained within this public folder, it doesn't matter which one of these files you're inside of. You could be in one of the deeper files here. That part doesn't matter. The terminal covers the entire project. So if I come in here and I do Firebase deploy, I know that I'm already logged in because I haven't logged out yet. Now I can control and click on this, and it looks like we're caching. So what we'll do here is we'll do Shift, Control, and the letter R, and that will refresh the page and remove or clear your local cache. So now I've got my mini projects, and I can see week 1, week 2. And this way, when you go to turn in a particular assignment, let's say your assignment is to turn in week 2's project, you can just come navigate to the week 2 project in Firebase, right click, copy this, and submit this to your instructor. Okay, or you can back out when you're ready to submit your final project, or when you have your final project involved in a discussion question, you can just use this link in your discussion and you and your class peers can discuss it. So for this project or this video, we created a project tree. We created a website project within that project tree, and then we deployed it to Firebase. I hope that all made sense to you. In our next video, we'll be working with the firebase.json file to create some custom settings.